Now, it's a big day for PM today because at 5:59 and 35 seconds, we shall close the programme and cut to real chimes of Big Ben. For the last 6 years or so, with the world's most famous clock undergoing repair, the BBC has been using a recorded version of the chimes. In theory, of course, it shouldn't sound very different. Now, before we move to the recorded version of Big Ben in 2017, a young listener, Phoebe, wrote to PM to offer to replace the bells herself by humming the melody, and it went viral.
Bim bom, 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 bim bom.
That was Phoebe back then. I bet you'll be humming that to yourself now, all the way through to 6 o'clock when you hear the real bells. Well, earlier I spoke to Ian Westworth, who is Parliament's own Father Time, the clock mechanic who's been working on Big Ben. And I asked him what they've been doing since 2017.
We closed the tower down totally, and we've done the most comprehensive restoration and refurbishment project that the Elizabeth Tower's ever had, down to taking every single cast iron tile off the top of the tower. Personally, with the clock team, we stripped out the whole of the Great Clock of Westminster, and we eventually took away about 11.5 tonnes of clock movement, hands, everything. And just to keep everything going, we put in a drive so people could still see what the time was. So we still had a set of hands on the outside, so London could actually still tell what the time was while we had everything in pieces.
Yeah, it wouldn't have done to have not had the clock working at all. Now, the bell has been active, hasn't it? It's been chiming for quite a while. What's been going on between the BBC and you that the BBC has been waiting and waiting before deciding now is the time to restore the live stream?
I think what it was, because we've had a whole new set of microphones put in. The ones that the BBC used to have there, I think they've gone to a museum. And so we've got 4 microphones, one in each corner of the tower. And we've been waiting, I think, until everything is settled down. The clock is running almost perfectly now. That's famous last words. The bells are bedded in nicely. So we're probably giving you the best sound we can now.
I have to tell you, Ian, presenters have been given a warning, and this affects me more than most. They've been told that the precise start time of the first chime cannot be guaranteed. It says it varies slightly dependent on weather conditions. It's a sort of warning that it may be 35 seconds past 59 minutes past 5 or 37 seconds past. Now, what's going on there? Is that right?
Yeah, we get given plus or minus 2 seconds on the first stroke of Big Ben. So, because what you're talking about a 160-year-old movement, and I think we should give the Great Clock just that little bit of leeway. So, plus or minus 2 seconds for a 160-year-old mechanism isn't bad, is it?
How well has it all been working since the restoration? I mean, have you had problems? It's obviously it's not something you're doing every day. It's not a routine, is it? So you can imagine all sorts of things being uncovered.
It's gone very well. Once we've actually settled down, all the building work in the tower has finished. That's what it needed. It needed everybody else to be out of the tower, all the building works, and then we could settle down and we could just get the clock running. We could lubricate it properly instead of we had some brick dust knocking around, which we all had to clean out again. So now it's stable. We've finished it. We've got a regular maintenance scheme, which we're going to keep to very strongly, and it's working very well.
Do you like your job, Ian? It sort of seems like it should be fun working on the world's most famous clock.
The project has been fun. It's had its ups and its downs. We didn't expect it to last from 2017 to 2023. Nothing's
going to go wrong, is it, at half a minute to 6 tonight?
Nothing's going to go wrong at half minute to 6. Famous last words. I'm sure I will be one of the first people to hear if it does. But no, there shouldn't be any problems at all.
And that's what they call jeopardy in showbiz. You can hear the live bells at half a minute to 6 or a few seconds after. That was Ian Westworth there, the clock mechanic who's been working on it. Coming up on Radio 4, the 6 o'clock news, of course, and the chimes of Big Ben. But for the first time since August 2017, you are going to a live feed of Big Ben in Westminster. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. We've been told the precise start time of the first chime can't be guaranteed. It varies plus or minus a couple of seconds, slightly dependent on the weather. So let me shut up, because this is certainly not a day to crash the bongs. Have a good evening.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Caroline Nichols. Good evening. Israel says it's now encircling Gaza City after firing hundreds of missiles in the past 24 hours.